everybody. I'm Eric. I'm the host of Commander's Coliseum, and I'd like to announce the start of our competitive play. We are going to be playing for booster packs one-on-one in Elder Dragon Brawl. Now, if you don't know what Elder Dragon Brawl is, it's a format that I created where it's one-on-one competition using the card base in Commander. However, there is no commander damage, and each player's life is 25 to start. And you either win by reducing the other player's life to 0, or if you are the challenger, you might have to complete a challenge, or there's a win condition that you have to achieve before I take your life to 0 in order to win the pack. And our first challenger today is Lewis.
Nice to meet you all. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Lewis. All right. Lewis, how long have you been playing Magic?
I've been playing for about 2 years now.
Great. And how did you hear about, what's your favorite format?
I prefer Commander. I've played much more Commander than any other format.
All right. What do you like about the format that I introduced?
I like that it shares some of those same parts of Commander that I like, namely the singleton format, the ability to play out some big effects, I'm hoping, and
oh yes, they're in there.
Yes.
Yes.
So I would say those parts excite me.
Right. What are the parts of Commander that you're less enthused about?
I would say that I have trouble sometimes with some of the stranger interactions that occur in Commander. There's so many different cards, some of which don't see play very often, and so one effect might affect another card in a way you end up having to look it up in the Oracle or the Gatherer website.
We might have that too, but we will be getting away from three players being on the stack at the same time trying to resolve effects. We are playing for a Brothers War draft booster, okay? And we are playing Mishra versus Urza.
Excellent.
All right, and I'm gonna play Mishra, you're playing Urza.
Should be a good matchup.
You have to combo to win.
Okay.
Before I take your life to 0.
So it won't be sufficient to simply win the normal way.
No.
There has to be a combo.
No, you have to combo off to win.
Excellent.
All right. So we look forward to playing the game, and we're going to get into the match now. All right. So Lewis won. We're going to draw our hand. Draw 7. And I have 7 cards that I can keep.
You can keep this.
Okay, Lewis wishes to keep as well. Okay, you may begin.
Okay. I'm going to play a Fabled Passage, and I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice it now.
Sure, go search for a basic
I should probably put this over here.
plains. Yes, so the graveyard goes in the zone right above your deck.
Roger that.
Right in front of your deck. And for a basic card, and it comes in tapped.
Basic card. Let's see here. Quite a few moving past some of these.
You did a pretty good job of getting a searching card the first turn.
Let's just say that I'm mostly looking for a basic land.
Okay.
Okay.
But you can't help to see other cards as you go along,
I may
right?
see a few other cards in there.
That's okay.
We'll call that good. And I'm going to pass.
Okay, my turn, I draw. Land for turn, I'm going to play a Seer Step Pathway, which is on red. I'm going to tap it to play out a Soul Ring. And that is also my turn.
Right. Okay, I will begin my turn, untap. I have no upkeep, so I'll draw. Let's see. Okay. I'll play out the plains.
There you go, you have all your colors now.
All 2 of them. And I will play out a Riddlesmith. And it's got the ability, whenever I cast an artifact spell, I may draw a card. If I do, discard a card.
Great.
With that, I will pass.
Okay, my turn. Untap, draw. I will tap for red and the 2 to play an enchantment called Raid Bombardment for 3 mana. Whenever a creature I control with power 2 or less attacks, Raid Bombardment deals 1 damage to the defending player.
Okay.
That is my turn. Pass turn.
I will untap. No upkeep, draw. Right, definitely. Okay, I'll play out Prairie Stream. It enters tapped unless I control 2 or more basic lands.
Which you do,
Which I
met
do.
the condition.
And I will go ahead and play out Urza, Lord Protector.
Okay.
And with that, I will pass.
Okay. I'm going to untap. Draw. I'm going to play a Marsh Flats for land for turn. I'm going to tap, pay 1 life, go to 24 life, and basically it lets me search for a plant or a swamp. I'm going to go searching for a swamp.
I suspect that you're less surprised at what you see than
Of
what I
course.
was at what I saw.
Okay. Yes, of course. Advantage host, right? This is how fast can I find what I'm looking for? Not there. I'm gonna go fetch up a Badlands.
That's a good lands.
Yes, that's a very good lands, and I'm gonna put it onto the battlefield.
It's an expensive lands.
It's a card that you can't find in regular ball games. Let me finish shuffling. Would you like to cut? All right.
I'm satisfied.
All right, sounds good. I will go to my main phase. I'm going to tap for red. I'm going to tap the Soul Ring. It generates 2 mana. I'm going to play Bloodthirsty Adversary for 1/1. It's a 1 and a red creature vampire, 2/2 with haste. And I have no effect when it enters. I'm not going to pay because I have nothing in my graveyard to use the effect with.
When you do, it's going to be quite bad for me.
It's
If
an
you can
effect that
replay.
does when it enters the battlefield.
I see now.
So then I'm also going to tap this for red, use the other colorless mana to play a Goblin Instigator. It's 1 in a red creature, Goblin Rogue. When it enters, it creates a 1/1 red Goblin creature token. That's a 1/1. It's a 1/1 and it creates a Goblin creature token that is also a 1/1. This guy has haste, these do not. 2/2, you have a 2/4 and a 2/1. I will not be attacking.
You're welcome to.
I will pass the turn.
Okay. I will untap. I will draw for turn. Let's see here. I will a Soul Ring for free.
Seems really good.
I will elect to draw a card off of Riddlesmith. That one, and then I'm going to discard a card. I will discard. Let's see. That actually seems important. It's a tough choice. I will discard.
Urza's effect makes like all artifacts extremely powerful.
Yes, which is quite handy. I think I'll be discarding. It doesn't feel right to discard this land.
I mean, you have 5 mana on board. I mean, that's
I do. That's a bunch.
That's pretty good right now for turn 3.
It's a whole bunch. You know what? We'll go ahead and we'll discard this land that works much better in multiplayer formats.
Seems good.
Okay, so
And I'm sorry, I said turn 3. We're actually on turn 4.
right. Time flies when you are having fun. So let me see. This one does not get helped. This does, though.
You don't have to do anything if you don't have a play or you want to wait. Feel free.
Oh, but I want to do so many
things. Doesn't sound good for me.
There's so many things I'd like to do. I'm gonna tap one white and the Soul Ring to play Thran Dynamo for 3, 1 cost reduction, and I will elect to draw a card.
Wow, what, he's already got a little combo going there himself. Card advantage, Urza.
And I think I will probably. Yeah, so that's 3 total mana. Sorry, this blue always gets me playing very slowly.
That's okay. Just don't forget to say the card, what's in the text of the card when it's played.
Understood.
Okay.
Currently, I'm still working on the Riddlesmith trigger.
Yes, you're resolving the Riddlesmith trigger to discard a card.
Let's see, so.
Choices.
Let's see. I think I'll discard. No, definitely can't do that. I'll discard Smith.
Okay.
It was a hard choice.
Okay.
So, let's see here.
You still have 5 mana.
I do have more mana almost than I know what to do with. Almost. But.
Can never have too much mana.
Let's see. I'll put one. That's for
It's okay. Take your time. There's only a pack at stake for you.
Only a pack on the line.
No pressure, right?
I see what you're trying to do, and I won't have it. Let's see. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to. This also reduces sorcery spells, so I'll tell you what. I'm going to be a little bit inefficient here. I'm going to tap Thran Dynamo for 3 colorless mana and tap both of my blue sources to play out Doppler Spy Network.
Hey, that's really good. What does Doppler Spy Network do, by the way?
Doppler Spy Network is an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control an artifact, put a 1/1 colorless Doppler artifact creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Furthermore, whenever one or more artifact creatures you control deal a combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Wow, that's a really good card.
I will move to combat, declaring no attackers, and move to second main, pass.
Okay, seems good. My turn. I will untap. I will draw. I will play, in phase 1, I will play a mountain. I will tap 2. Red and a black. 4, I'll play my commander. Mishra,
Yes.
claimed by Gix.
Yes. And you currently. Oh no,
I
that's
currently have,
X is determined by your declaration of attackers.
yes,
So it's not relevant yet.
it is not. I'm going to pass the turn.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to untap first. I'm going to move to my upkeep. At the beginning of my upkeep, I do control an artifact.
So you get a
I will
1/1 Thopter.
1/1 Thopter with flying. Where are you, Thopter? It's one of those guys.
Yes. And we're going to give you a dice
I
so
like
that
the
you can-
optimism.
so that you can represent how many Thopters you have on board.
There may end up being multiple Thopters.
Right. So right now there is 1, and that die represents 1.
Excellent.
If there's any counters added to any cards, there will be a die put to the side of the card to represent the number of counters on it.
Nice. So that's the number of those cards.
Okay?
I will now move to my draw phase.
And I'll do the same for my
For your draw phase.
goblin. I have 1 goblin.
I'll go ahead and play a snow-covered plains for land for turn. All right, now I get to play a fun card. That's 2. Okay, so I'll go ahead and tap. No, I'm gonna, sorry, I shouldn't have done that, but I'm going to, may I untap and then retap that? That's what I meant to tap, the Thran Dynamo.
Yes, of course.
Excellent.
Yes.
I'm going to, so that gives me 3 colorless mana. I'm gonna tap an island for blue, play out Fabricate for 1 in a blue, effectively, out of the pool of 3 colorless.
Okay.
I'm gonna search my library for an
And you have
artifact
2
card.
colorless floating.
I do. I'm going
Right.
to search my library for an artifact card, reveal it, and then put it into my hand, and shuffle my library.
Okay, go.
This one might take a minute.
Okay.
I'm not just looking for a basic land this time. Okay.
I wonder what you're going to search up.
I don't know, but I'm hoping it's the right choice. Okay. So I've fetched up a knowledge pool artifact. It has imprint. When knowledge pool enters the battlefield, each player exiles the top 3 cards of his or her library. This isn't being played, obviously. This is going in my hand. So I'll read the rest of it when it comes out.
A most excellent choice. All right.
So I'm gonna finish shuffling real quick. Sorry.
All right. That's going to your hand.
Thank you. I will go ahead and place that in there.
I'm going to cut your deck.
Yes, please.
You may put it back.
Excellent. So I'm currently floating 2 colorless. So I'm going to play out. So if I have 1 cost reduction, so I'm floating 2 colorless. Tap this for 2 more, and yeah, definitely tap one of these whites. That's 5. Play this out for 5 instead of 6. And to continue reading. When knowledge pool enters the battlefield, each player exiles the top 3 cards of his or her library. Whenever a player casts a spell from his or her hand, that player exiles it. If the player does, he or she may cast another non-land card exiled with knowledge pool without paying that card's mana cost.
All right. So we do the effect.
We'll go ahead and exile the top 3 cards.
Top 3 cards.
So I'm exiling. Yeah, maybe we'll hold these out. You want to kind of read them off, or
Just
just the names?
put them to the top of the board, like right here.
I see.
What you exile.
I'll make them sideways, as if they're tapped a different way.
All right. So what did you exile?
I exiled Saheli's Artistry. That's a sorcery, cost 6.
You don't
well,
have to
doesn't.
read it until you play it.
I exiled Swords to Plowshares, and I exiled Talisman of Progress.
All right. My choices at the top 3 were Sign in Blood, a Swamp, and a Blood Pact.
Excellent. And what does Sign in Blood do, just so I know, in case that becomes relevant to me?
Sign in Blood is a sorcery that says target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay.
Do you want to know what Blood Pact does?
I can see that one.
It's an instant that says target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life.
Wait a
So
minute, that sounds familiar.
It does sound familiar.
Okay, so I've used up all the mana from my pool. So I am still on my first main.
So this is a replacement effect. If you attempt to play a spell, you must choose a card from the pool.
Yes.
That card is automatically, is it countered or?
It's that card is exiled.
Okay.
If the player does. The player. Well, it goes on to say if the player does, but of course the player must exile it. So, and then he or she may cast from this special zone.
Yes. Any card of their choice.
Excellent. Let me actually see myself. Token that's a card. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, I suppose I can go ahead and this is anytime. I'll go ahead and pass then.
Okay. Untap. Draw for turn. I'll play a swamp for turn. Read the effective knowledge pool again. When the player
Casts a spell from his hand, that player exiles it, being the spell so cast. If the player does, he may cast another non-land card exiled with knowledge pool without paying that card's mana cost.
Okay. That is cool. That is really cool. I'm going to tap a red. I'm going to cast a Sylvan Devastator.
Okay. When it...
For 0. Replacement effect activates.
Right. Yes. Understood.
All right.
Yes.
This card gets exiled.
Yep.
I will put it over here. And I will cast Swords to Plowshares, targeting Urza.
Ah, neat. Okay. So it's not just yours. I actually misunderstood that.
No, it's any card from the knowledge pool.
Let's see. So this is currently on the stack.
Yes, let's show, so we're gonna cast, attempting to cast Swords to Plowshares. It's an instant that says exile target creature, its controller gains life equal to its power.
Right.
Target is Urza.
Yes. Pretty sure that's gonna work, but hang on. Let me see something here.
So right now, Swords to Plowshares is on the stack.
Okay, let's see. So...
So if you attempt to cast anything, you will also be bound by the rules of the knowledge pool.
Correct. So then I would do that. Okay. Oh no, I don't have the right colors. Oh wait, no, it doesn't matter. It does matter. I think that's gonna happen.
Okay, so I just want you to know, even if you would cast a spell,
Yes.
it doesn't have to be the same converted mana cost. Your
I-
spell would be countered,
I know.
then you may choose any card in the knowledge pool
Right.
and cast it
Yes.
without paying its mana cost.
Yes. The trouble is, well, I can't really explain the trouble to you. Let's just say I don't have enough mana.
Okay, so this resolves. Exile Urza,
I'm gonna put Urza back.
you will gain 2 life.
There's a command zone in this game, right?
There is a command zone, it's right below your dice.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna put a counter thingy on here. Not a counter, but you know what I mean.
Okay. And I cast that, so this goes to your graveyard. Okay?
Yes.
Alright. Alright, go to combat.
Okay.
Go to attacks. Swing.
Alright, so you've got 4
So
creatures.
on the attack,
Yeah.
I have 4 attacking creatures.
That's gonna trigger
So
Mishra.
you lose 4 life and I gain 4 life.
Right.
So I'm at 28 and you are at,
21.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Oh, and then whenever a creature I control with power 2 or less attacks, raid bombardment effect goes off as well. I control 1, 2, 3 creatures with power 2 or less. It deals 1 damage to defending player for each creature. So that's 3 additional damage you take.
Off of which?
For raid bombardment.
Oh, okay.
Whenever a creature.
Gotcha. So that goes to 18. Excellent.
So you're at
So
18.
now I need to, now I need to declare blockers. Let's see. I don't really want Mishra to get through. So I'll block Mishra with a Thopter. And yeah, I should probably block something else too. Probably block the Bloodthirsty Adversary with Riddlesmith.
Okay. So blocks have been made. Thopter dies.
Yep.
Mishra is a 3/5. And we trade.
Yes. And I end up taking.
You take 2 damage from the creatures.
Okay.
Down to 16. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Just taking a look at what Shihili's Artistry does. Create a token of a copy of the target artifact. Create a token. Oh wow, that can do some shit in there. Oh my gosh. Wow. We cannot let this be happening. What we're going to do is we're going to, before that can go off, I'm going to tap red. All right. I'm going to cast Profane Command,
Okay, so that's just getting
which
exiled
get
out of this thing.
exiled, and instead I'm going to cast Shihili's Artistry from the knowledge pool.
Right.
I just want to make sure, I'm going to take a look and I want to reread knowledge pool one more time real quick. Whenever he casts a spell from his or her hand, that player exiles it. If the player does, he or she may cast another non-land card exiled without paying its mana cost. So I'm going to cast Shihili's Artistry.
Right.
Okay? Shihili's Artistry is a sorcery that says choose one or both, create a token that's a copy of target artifact, or create a token that's a copy of target creature except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. So I choose to create a token that's a copy of a target artifact, Thran Dynamo,
Okay.
as the target. So I have a copy of Thran Dynamo. All right. So I chose Shihili's Artistry. I chose the effect that says create a token that's a copy of target artifact, and the artifact I chose was Thran Dynamo. So this is representing a Thran Dynamo that I can tap for 3 mana.
Yes.
I will end the turn.
Okay. I will untap. Not that, that's in knowledge pool. I will create a Thopter off of Thopter Spy Network. Go ahead and put this back on there.
Yep, go ahead, here. That's your dice to use.
Okay. And then I will go ahead and draw.
Good job.
Let's see. Land for turn.
Good.
All right. Let's see. So those are both draw 2 cards and lose 2 life.
That's it. Go ahead, put yourself down a little more. It's fine with me.
Surprisingly important right now, unfortunately. Let's see. So I guess I should probably.
Yes, so they're not playing at 40 life.
Okay, so, well, first I should play Urza back out. I'll tap 3 white, blue in order to pay for Urza's adjusted cost here. So Urza Lord
So
Protector
you
comes
play
back
5 for Urza. And Urza's back on the field.
with the associated cost reduction. Okay, so
Good move.
thank you.
Does that skips knowledge pool, right?
That gets around knowledge pool because it's not being cast from his hand.
Okay, let's see. Darn it. I don't really want to do that. Okay, well, what I can do is I'll at least 1, 2, 3. I'm going to cast from my hand for 3, cost reduced 1, Supreme Verdict,
Which is automatically countered, is exiled.
exiled, which is good because it can't be countered. It's a good thing it doesn't say countered.
Okay.
So that's going to go into the knowledge pool. In its place, I will play. Well, actually, maybe I should play.
Wait, does it go into the pool or is it exiled and becomes part of the pool?
It gets. So I cast a spell from my hand. It gets exiled. But then later on, if I cast another, card, non-land card, an earlier card exiled with knowledge pool.
Okay, so
Yeah.
these cards actually go into knowledge pool as well.
Oh, true. That's true. Yes.
All
Those
right.
are actually in there. That's a good.
Those are in the knowledge pool as well.
Okay. Let's see.
So
So we've got a profane command, which we didn't read previously because it was just a stand-in.
I because I misplayed it. Go ahead and read the card, Lewis.
So it's a sorcery. You pay X black to choose 2. Target player loses X life. Of course, this would get played out without a converted mana cost being paid, so it would be 0.
So X would be 0. So
Return target creature card with converted mana cost X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Target creature could get -X until end of turn, or up to X target creatures gain fear until end of turn. So that one is well and fully useless. We'll put that in the back
in the knowledge pool.
for both of us. So we can play the Shivan Devastator, which is also has an X.
In its mana
portion.
cost, which makes it useless in.
It does because
Knowledge pool.
its toughness is 0, so that would.
So it would
be
die
D.
automatically.
So Supreme Bird. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, another. Okay, yeah.
Yes, you must choose
Yeah,
another. So
I was
you
like-
played Supreme Verdict.
Yeah, that
you
would
may
be-
choose another card and you may play it.
So I'm certainly going to be playing either Talisman of Progress or one of the I lose 2 life and draw 2 cards. I think that I will be.
Do you want to be greedy?
Well, let's see. So what do I got coming at me next turn? I know that I have 5 coming at me, and I know that I have at least, if you swung with everything, 3 on top of that. I will be greedy. I will play Blood Pact. I'm going to target myself to draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. That'll go to your graveyard. I'm going to go down to 14.
You draw 2 cards and lose 2 life.
I need some cards. Okay, let's see. Of course, I can't play any of them. Okay, so with that.
But thanks for telling me that information.
With that, I will pass.
You're going to pass?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to upkeep, untap.
Just put like a finger.
All right. Draw for turn. I'm going to play a Hall of the Bandit Lord. It's a legendary land. Hall of the Bandit Lord comes in tapped. It has a tap ability that says pay 3 life, add 1 mana to my pool. If that mana is spent to cast a creature spell, that creature has haste.
All right.
To tap Soul Ring, tap red. I'm going to cast Urza's Rage, which will get automatically countered and put into the knowledge pool. In place, I choose to cast Sign in Blood.
Yes.
Draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. So I lose 2 life, which puts me at 26. And I draw 2 cards. I'm gonna float a mana. I'm gonna cast Squee.
Yes.
Dubious Monarch. It gets exiled with Knowledge Pool. I will cast the Urza's Rage instead. Targeting Urza.
Okay. And it deals 3 damage.
3 damage to any target. If it was kicked, which is it's not been kicked, it would deal 10 damage instead.
Okay. So Urza's toughness is reduced to 1
Yes. Right. And that goes to my graveyard.
by his own rage.
By his own rage, yes. 1 floating, double black. I cast Hero's Downfall. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. It gets exiled and put into the pool, and instead I cast Squee. Dubious Monarch. It's a 2/3 with haste. Legendary Goblin Noble. Whenever Squee attacks, create a 1/1 Goblin creature token that's tapped and attacking.
Okay.
And I can cast Squee from my graveyard by exiling 4 other cards in addition, rather than paying its mana cost. Okay? It's a 2/2. Go to combat. Attack with all 4. So Mishra's trigger, I'm going to stack the triggers. So the Squee trigger, Mishra's trigger goes first, Squee trigger goes second. They resolve backwards, so it produces another 1/1 goblin. So there's 2 of them.
Yes. Also attacking, yeah.
Also attacking you. Raid bombardment triggers 1, 2, 3, 4. So you take 4 damage by raid bombardment.
Right. And
then Mishra's trigger will drain you for 5, and I gain 5. So
Yes.
you take 9 off the initial attack,
okay, so we'll go down to 5.
and then I gain 5. So this goes to 11. So I'm at 31. All right, blocks.
So let's see. So I'll block. Urza will block Squee. Thopter will block Mishra.
Okay, so Urza dies, and the Thopter dies, and Squee dies.
Oh yeah. Okay. Put this over here. And I will take 3 damage.
You take 3 damage.
Okay.
Additional damage, down to 2.
Down to 2.
So right totals right now are 31 to 2. Pass turn.
Okay. Untap. Untap. Okay. And I will do my upkeep. On my upkeep, I will create a Thopter. I will draw a card. I'll play. I'll actually just play out Enlightened Tutor, but that's going into Knowledge Pool.
Right? What would you like to play instead?
I'll play a Supreme Verdict. That would be grand.
Okay.
It'll destroy all creatures.
Seems like a play.
Okay. there. Let's see.
Avoiding foreseeable death?
Maybe. I'll tap Soul Ring. I'm going to float one colorless island for Snapcaster Mage, playing out Enlightened Tutor instead off of Knowledge Pool.
Okay. What does Enlightened Tutor do?
Enlightened Tutors search your library for an artifact or enchantment card and reveal that card. Shuffle your library, then put the card on top of it, on top of the library. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to make that happen, but so I need artifact or enchantment.
No.
Okay. So I've tutored up Teresian Mindbreaker, artifact creature, Juggernaut. 7 for whenever Teresian Mindbreaker attacks, defending player mills half their library, rounded up. And I'm going to put that on top of my library.
Nice choice.
Thank you. Finishing shuffling here. I will offer this to you to cut.
I will cut.
Okay. At which point it will then go on top of my library.
Yeah, and you could put it just face up, since we know that that's your top card.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, I'm still floating one colorless.
Okay. You know which ends as soon as you went to your standby phase. So. Wait, you're in your main phase, right?
Yeah, I'm still.
Okay, then you are floating the one colorless.
Very good. I think I would use that colorless and a blue to play negate, but that goes into the knowledge.
You
pool.
have no target for negate. You cannot just play that without a target.
That's right.
There's no target for the negate.
Let me do
Unless
that.
you want to cast a spell and then negate it.
I suppose I could do that, but I won't. I'm going to pass.
You're passing?
Yeah, I'll pass.
Okay. Yeah, those kinds of effects you have to have a legal target for you to be able to cast the spell.
Right.
All right, I draw. I play a land. It's a wooded foothills. I tap, play one, pay 1 life. Down to 30 life, I'm gonna go searching. And I find a mountain, and I'm just going to put it onto the battlefield.
Okay.
Shuffling, and I'm going to present the deck for you to cut.
Hey.
Tap, okay. Still my turn? No, you know what? The game should be over, but it is not, because I could have paid 3 life, given Urza haste.
That makes sense.
Okay?
Yes. That makes sense to me. And then you're going to move to combat.
It gives it haste, I pay 3 life, so down to 27, and attack for 3.
And for starters, I'll take 1 and
No,
1.
you don't take 1.
Or
'cause
at least 1.
It's power 2,
Yes.
and this is power 3.
Oh, I see.
So that's game.
Yep. Good game.
Good game.
Good game.
All right.